Hi everyone, so this video is not going to show you any of the features of the Toolbee sets. If you haven't seen the features and benefits video, then go to toolbee.co and it should be just the first thing on the first page. But this video is going to look at the Toolbee sets and the individual pouches, just more of an in-depth look and just an example of some things that I might put in them. Of course, it varies so much with different uses. And sorry if there's some noise in the background, I've got a bunch of kittens here. So this is the Pro set, so all these things here, without the tools obviously. Then we've got the Maker set, which is the Pro set, plus all this. And then we've got the Master set, which is everything. So the heart of your Toolbee set is the Honeybee. It's a double clip pouch. Here I've got it with one of the lanyards that come included with the sets. And this is probably going to be one of your most used pouches. So here I've got, as the example of tools I've got in here, it's what a photographer might use. So I've got a multi-tool right there and a remote trigger for a camera and a camera filter in there. Let me actually show you guys that. And so, yeah, and then this over here is a security key that you might use to log into your internet accounts. And in any of the Toolbee sets, you've got the option to switch from the Honeybee to the Bumblebee. Now they're basically the same pouch, except this one, instead of having a zip pouch for the front pocket, it's got an open front pocket and it's got a top flap which closes over everything. Whereas the Honeybee has an open top. But you might want to have maybe more privacy with what you're carrying, and in that case this could be good. Or maybe you just prefer the look of this. It's actually a bit too small to close over the mobile phone I had in there. It's quite a big mobile phone. So the production version of this is going to be just a little bit taller so that it can fit slightly taller tools and a mobile phone up to about 6 inches or something like that. Should fit in there just fine. Now if you're not sure between these two, let me explain some of the differences, but for the most part they're really similar in use. So with this one, the front pocket doesn't fit quite as much. It just doesn't stretch quite as much, but you can have a layer, like a bunch of little tools in there, not a problem. Some Swiss Army knives, stuff like that, not a problem. With this one, it just stretches more. So that's pretty much the main difference between them, other than the way they look. The Bumblebee looks a little bit nicer, I think. It does cost a bit more, but you know, for the most part, I use my Honeybee. So I would say, if you're not sure, go for the Honeybee. It's fantastic and costs you a little bit less, so that's a little bonus. Next up is your Firefly pouch. Now this one is mostly designed for torches. It is a sort of double use diffuser for your torch, but you also get one that has no clip in the same kit. Now why would you get both? Well, some people might not want to wear a yellow pouch, so you can just choose the black one instead. And so this one won't double as a diffuser, but then you've got this one, the Firefly pocket. You can put this in your pocket or in one of the pouches. But I would say if you don't mind the yellow color on your pants, then choose the yellow one. Just gives you the option to actually use this with the torch in there. And so basically that just gives you a bit of light around you to see where you're walking if you've got both hands full. So you don't want to be holding your torch. So you can just shove your torch in there like that, make sure it's deep enough in that it's not going to fall out. And then this, even if you've only got half of it lit, then it's still going to give you some light around you to see where you're walking. If you're carrying something in your hands or you're doing something, whatever, you got both hands full, you can still sort of see where you're going. I find that incredibly useful. So I would say, go for both yellow. That's just my preference. Now the pocket version just comes in one size because all it's got to do is just sit on your torch and illuminate stuff. But the clip version comes in various sizes. So at checkout, just let me know the size of your torch and then we'll get you a pouch to fit the size of your torch so that there's a little bit extra to sort of grab the torch and pull it out. And another one with a color choice is the Dragonfly. So I've got the red version here and the black version here. So here's an example. I've got replacement blades, both really nice. Just depends what color you want. I mean, I like the red. Next up in the Pro set is the Wasp. Now the Wasp is fantastic for smaller tools like Swiss Army knives and torches. Here I've got the blue Wasp just to show you with a smaller torch. Now the blue Wasp is not included in the Pro set. It's included in the Maker set, but it is nice to have them both. For example, if you want to have an ultra light carry with a Swiss Army knife and a small torch, these two go really nicely together. And here we've got the Greenfly. Now the Greenfly is a limited edition of the black version of the same thing. The black version is not included in any of the sets. It's just a bit of an extra thing that I made. But this one is included free with any of the sets. It's just a really nice limited edition. So this one you could either slip in your pocket or just have it for storage of, you know, one of your favorite knives or something. I don't know, it's just a little gift for you. So this is a great set, but my favorite set is the Maker set. And the Maker set adds a ton of functionality on top of the Pro set. Blue Mud Wasp, this is a super limited edition. And so this, for example, as a torch is going to be actually a little bit too small for the Dragonfly, which is already a fairly small pouch. And with most things you might put in here, once it's closed, it's really difficult for it to get out. So here, for example, if I push this up all the way and try and push it out, I really have to push quite hard and like bend the entire thing to get it to push out. And then it's kind of getting stuck in there because the fabric is all bent up. So really it holds onto smaller stuff fairly well. Obviously, if the thing is really, really small and thin, it could still fall out, although I've never had that happen because I'm not upside down very often. But this just gives you a really good, quick access to smaller tools like this. Really nice for ultralight carry and really pretty too. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this. And then we've got the Hornet. And the Hornet adds a bunch of extra functionality for things like pens and markers and stuff. This holds onto stuff fairly tight, especially if you have it filled up like this with a bunch of different things. But it's still really nice and quick to grab stuff in and out. Really useful if you need to mark a lot of stuff. If you're going to be putting something like a knife there, then it's going to be a bit of a squeeze to get it out. So here you might want to put something a little bit thinner, maybe like a ruler or some Allen keys or something like that. Next up is a Mayfly, which is a great little pouch and has some tight elastic. So this is great for your spare bits. If you want, you can have some extra ones in there as well. But in this example, I've put in there a hot glue stick and a lighter in the main compartment. And hot glue is actually incredible for everyday carry or even just have around you in the workshop for really small things where you don't want to grab your hot glue gun, plug it in, wait for it to heat up. You just got a little thing to do. This is great to have on you, but especially when you're out and you don't have any other glue and you need to glue something, this is fantastic. Obviously, you need to be careful not to burn yourself. And I would say with any type of glue, use eye protection as well. Last item in the Maker set is the Toolbee Moth. Now this is a pouch that has removable zips. So a lot of the times if I'm working on something that requires little screws, nuts and bolts, whatever, I'll probably need a tape measure. Now I normally use my big one, my fat ass, whatever it's called. But sometimes this is far away because it's, I don't know, in another room or something, or I just don't know where I put it down. So having a spare one is great. And this one is also great if I'm going to a store or something, I need to pick some stuff up, don't really want to lug this thing around with me, then this is great to just, you know, get a quick measurement on some stuff. So you could take it in one of these. Of course, it could fit in one of your other pouches, but for when I need quick access to it, it's great in the Moth pouch. The Moth is all about speed. Here I've just got another lighter just as an example, but you could fit some bits in there as well, some screwdriver bits or something. So your Maker set comes with a few of these, so of course you can swap them out. So for example, here I've just got one with sort of a mini first aid kit, which I probably wouldn't carry in this. I might carry it in maybe a pouch like this, but you can also use this for your tape measure. So it's a bit of a squeeze in there, but it does work. And so I probably wouldn't carry one quite as big as this. Is one of the biggest ones that I've seen. And the Master set has all of the pouches and the belts. And so let me show you guys that. And now my biggest pouch is the Mantis. This is one that you might want to use with a belt, especially if you've got some really heavy stuff right there. So you can use this with your own belt or with the Toolbee belt, which I'll show you. And if you're not going too extreme with this, with like a heavy hammer, and you know, if you don't have one of these in there, then you can surprisingly comfortably carry this even without a belt, just on shorts that have a drawstring or something, and you'll be really, really surprised at how comfortable this is. Even with a few big tools, like here I've got a 10-inch locking plier or my 12-inch Knipex plier wrench. So in the main compartment, we've got space right here and two smaller ones there and there. Unlike the other ones, these are not elastic over here, and these are not elastic because the bottom row is elastic. So in the bottom row, you might want to have a screwdriver and some other extra small stuff, maybe a pencil or something, little tweezers, whatever. Of course, it's going to vary so much between different uses, and this is deeper than the Bumblebee and Honeybee. So for big tools, this works great. And then we've got the Scorpion. This one is for tools that are a little bit taller, but you still want to have some closure on top of them, and you still want them to be able to come in and out really quick and have that magnetic closure. Then this is a great option. Of course, you can use this with smaller stuff if you're using one of the lower magnets. You do have a front compartment here as well, which is very tight. So this one is intended for small tools, maybe something like this. Really depends on how much you've stuffed the main compartment as well, but you can fit some smaller tools in there as well. The Scorpion could also be great for slim torches. It won't fit something that's about 1 inch in diameter like this one, like the M2R from Olight. But for slimmer torches, this could be a nice option. The next pouch in the master set, the Fire Ant. Now the Fire Ant is very similar to your Hornet, except it doesn't have these elastic side loops, and everything is tighter on this. So you've got 2 smaller compartments instead of 1 big one here for the elastic. So these are great for some of your smaller items. Here I've got this pry tool that I made from an old chisel. Actually been using this for years, still haven't broken it. And the main compartment is tighter as well. I've got an elastic there, which is, you know, for something more closer to this size. And then we've got the Gecko strap. So this is a double layer strap, so you can connect your clips onto there and then have them sort of semi-permanently attached to something like a work area or something where you don't actually want this specific pouch on you, but you love having that quick access to the tools that are in there. And then you've got the Velcro. And finally, we've got the Toolbee Cobra belt. This one has 2 layers of elastic right there. So this can stretch both there and there. And then a layer of non-stretchy material right there. So this is going to hold up the weight, and so you'd attach your clips directly onto that. And the 2 layers behind it are just for comfort and to spread the weight over a large area of your body. The Cobra belt comes in several sizes, and the final production version of this will have the Velcro as well as a metal latch right there. Because of the pandemic, I haven't been able to get the latch that I wanted, and so that's on the way, but yeah, this will have a metal latch as well for extra security. Alright guys, so thank you for watching this video. If you haven't seen the features video yet, then go and check that out on toolbee.co. Of course, there you can also order the pouches and the belts and whatever you want. And if you have any questions, then feel free to get in touch. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.